welcome back to Talk of the Town.
Thousands of people each year rely on Catholic Charities' appeal, helping people of all faiths in many ways, and here is one example.
Well, my name is Keyshawn Atwood, 23 years old, from Buffalo, New York. When I was 18 years old, I made a dumb decision in my life. I was arrested for robbery in the second. I did 5 years for that.
I'm a counselor for the WAGES program, and that stands for Work and Gain Education and Employment Skills. And when I first met Keyshawn, the thing that impressed me right off the bat is he was open and honest. He said, I know what I did in the past, I made a mistake, but I want to change my life for the better.
I don't want to blame nobody else for my past or my actions, but I learned from it. That's what I like about Catholic Charities. Nobody judged me. They just looked at me as a person who want help and who's gonna go get it.
So initially it was a little difficult to get him to buy into the program. But I think once he understood that we're not going to give up and we actually do want to help you and work with you, you could just see the change. Like, he would come in, say hi to everyone. He was just very pleasant, very fun to be around.
But when you actually with somebody that you feel like they really want to help, you want to go all the way out for them.
He started the job readiness training right away. Once he did that, he did participate in community service projects with us. Like
that neighborhood, that whole surrounding, that's where I come from. So for me to give back was nothing. It was something that I would never have a problem doing again. And then from there, I had the opportunity to do a paid internship with the maintenance department at Catholic Charities.
He showed up every day, he worked hard. We put him in the training at the Center for Transportation Excellence, and he actually did the hospitality training, and Keyshawn was able to move up and get a more permanent job.
At the Ramada Hotel that I work at, I set up banquets, and at the same time, I'm still in maintenance field, as in the lawn work or inside, or as if it's setting up a wedding, and go in the restaurant, probably do a little serving too.
He did come up to me and ask me, like, hey, can you guys help me get my learner's permit and driver's license? He signed up for the road test, passed his first try. From the work experience, he did save his money up, he did buy his own car, he bought his own insurance, and he drives himself to work every day. He is an amazing person. I mean, he's overcome so much adversity in his life. He's the reason why, like, this job is rewarding.
I want more for myself. I want to go back to school with occupational therapy assistant, and from there, that's what I want my future career to be.
It makes me proud to see what he did.
Even the little ones, the nieces and nephews and little sisters, everybody just, hey, but I'm so proud of you, I'm so proud of you. I like to thank Catholic Church for everything that they helped me with, and for not judging me when I first walked through them doors, and just being able to give me an opportunity. They family. Catholic Church staff is just family to me.
Welcome, Dennis Walczyk. Thank you for being here, and you are, of course, the CEO of Catholic Charities, and you're going to share with us more about what's going on in Western New York. Thank you for being here.
It's my pleasure.
Dennis, tell us a little bit about the history of Catholic Charities. How far back does it go?
We started back in 1923, and at that time we had a relatively small service area serving Buffalo and Erie County, and over the years we gradually expanded to provide services across the 8 counties that make up the Diocese of Buffalo. So right now we're in every county, and we operate out of 61 different locations. And when I count the schools that we're in, which is another bit growing aspect of our service, we're in over 90 locations.
That's amazing.
Including schools across 8 counties of Western New York.
So really the umbrella of this charity is all of Western New York.
Yes, it is.
And how many people were helped last year?
Over 130,000 people were helped through our different services and programs.
Tremendous, tremendous. And last year you were looking to raise, was it 10 million?
10.9 million.
And then this year
we're hoping to raise 11 million.
And of course you did meet that goal last year.
Oh, and we exceeded the goal last year. So we're very confident through the hard work of our volunteer leadership and also the generosity of the people of Western New York, Catholics and non-Catholics alike, that will not only meet the goal, will exceed our expectations.
And I think Western New York realizes that this is an organization that offers services to anyone and everyone. It's not just those of the Catholic faith that
That's
you're
correct.
reaching out to.
As a matter of fact, we do track that data, and we ask people when they come in through one of our doors for help if they have a religious preference and what that would be. And last year, 52% of the people that answered that question were not Catholic.
And I think that's a huge reflection on the Catholic Church, that type of outreach, where it's, every neighbor, every man. If you need it, the Catholic Charities are there.
Now, we just talked about the endowment that the bishop just announced upon this rock. And Buffalo has always been a very generous neighborhood, if you will. The people here, they really go all out to help each other. And at the same time, the income levels in Buffalo are not all that great. With the institution of Upon This Rock and the timing with Catholic Charities, are you concerned at all that one may be to the detriment of the other? Is there only so much to go around?
When the initiative Upon This Rock was first being considered and implemented, maybe 18 months ago, a lot of effort was undertaken at the start to ensure that, in a sense, each effort would be successful in meeting its objectives. And in particular, to your question, that the Upon This Rock effort would not, hurt the Catholic Charities appeal. So a lot of work was done to ensure that, and I feel confident moving forward that each one of us, if I could say it that way, will be successful in meeting our goals.
And then how does Upon This Rock affect come into play locally with Catholic Charities? I'm sure it supports and helps.
One thing is, as Bishop Malone said previously, that we are ensured that we will not be financially negatively impacted in the first year by Upon This Rock. And the second piece is we are one of the ministries of the church that will have a positive impact by the creation of an endowment through this effort for Catholic Charities. So this will be a long-term, looking forward effort for
So
Catholic
Upon This
Charities.
Rock is looking at the future.
Yes, and that's a good way to put this. It's more endowment, future-directed. Catholic Charities, every year when we run our appeal, that money is raised and it's spent to provide programs and services.
That's an immediate need, and it's filled immediately. But Upon This Rock is the future, and then of course that's the future of Western New York. So
yes.
two very different goals, but two really important goals.
Very important goals
for Western.
Now, there are so many charities today because there are so many things, so many people in need, and there are places on the internet where you can track the charities and how efficient they are, how much of their cost is for administration and how much actually goes to the charity,
to the people you're trying to aid.
And recently, like as an example, Wounded Warrior got a bad reputation because I think almost between 40 and 50% of what they collect goes to their administrative expenses. But you have a tremendous rating from the Better Business Bureau and the various charity tracking services. Tell us a little bit about your cost versus what actually goes to the people.
We intentionally and purposefully reached out to bodies outside of the organization that will come in and assess not only our fundraising efficiency, but our effectiveness around programs and services, and sought out the stamp of approval, the accreditation from these different bodies. We are accredited by the Council on Accreditation, and that's an international body that looks at organizations like Catholic Charities, and they look at everything. So we had an assessment visit last summer, and we came through with flying colors. So we are accredited by the Council on Accreditation for another 4 years. We were also accredited this past year by the Better Business Bureau of upstate New York, and there were 20 standards that we had to meet or exceed in order to get that accreditation. So we were successful in getting that, and in addition, we were named the Philanthropy of the Year by the BBB for 2015. And then Charity Navigator is, I think, one of the things that you're referring to, and that looks at the efficiency and effectiveness of the fundraising. So to all those outside standards and tests, we've come through with flying colors. Yes.
Dennis, briefly, you started to talk to me about some of your programs, and one of the unique things that Catholic Charities does for folks is the ongoing support. Tell us about that.
In particular, and especially in light of what's going on right now in our area, and there's a renaissance going on in the city of Buffalo. There are more jobs than maybe we've seen in a long time. Also, we've heard that our community is concerned that everybody has an opportunity to take part of this renaissance. So what that means is, for us, is people that we have been serving for years, people living in poverty, people coming back to the community from prison, people who have dropped out of school, to make sure that they have an equal chance. What we provide, and what we hope to expand providing to make sure that everybody has a chance, is the support services, the backup, the case management, these folks need, not only to get a job, but to deal with the crises that occur in their lives so they can keep that job.
So it's not just training them and giving them job skills, but giving them support.
Being there to support
to
them.
keep the job they're in. So once again, looking long term, a lot like the On the Rock. It's the long term that the Catholic Charities, you're identifying the need for that long term success.
Good way to say it. Yes.
And of course, we'd be remiss if we didn't give a bit of a list of all of the things that you do. So list them off for us.
We literally provide services from the cradle to the grave, and every place in between. So at the beginning of life, we run adoption services. We have kids in foster care, and then foster care parents that we train in homes that we support. We provide a lot of counseling to young people. We have 3 children's mental health clinics that we operate in Niagara County. Like I said earlier in your reference, we're in the schools, not only in the city of Buffalo, but we're in the Catholic schools, we're in charter schools, up to support the needs of these kids so the teachers can do what they do best, and that's teach. We run programs for women who are victims of domestic violence. We provide mental health and drug abuse counseling for adults, workforce development and education for people out of the workforce to try to get them back in, and a wide array of programs for our seniors. So literally from the cradle to the grave.
Just about every
place in
aspect of
between.
life that you've identified that you could have a niche to help out.
Catholic Charities, if you're going to be generous in this area, that's one of the prime ways to do it.
Yeah.
We'd like to thank Dennis for being here and talking about
Thank
it.
you. You're welcome.
And as we end this segment, we're going to show you a business owner that's stepping up to help other people. We'll be right back after this.
My name is Dave Rogers. I'm a native Western New Yorker. I had a long-standing relationship with Catholic Charities starting as a boy. My dad was always a real strong volunteer for Catholic Charities. I used to work the routes with him when he used to go door-to-door collecting, and I received an accounting degree in the late 70s. Got together with a few guys in the early 80s. We formed a company called Uncle Bob's Self-Storage, and now we have a little over 500 stores nationwide. We realize we're quite fortunate, and my wife and I and my 2 kids try to make it so that we do as much as we can with what we have for other people. So you'll see our trucks at a lot of different events, but what we do with Catholic Charities is deliver turkeys, deliver hams, deliver Christmas gifts. I've been impressed, my partners have been impressed with the idea that a lot of dollars go right to where it counts, right to the social services, right to the food pantries, right to the educational parts of it. Catholic Charities gets right to the core of all that. The talent is there, the compassion is there, the passion is there to work with the folks who need it the most.